Welcome back to Iraqi Dinar News. Today's update is one of the most significant we've seen in years. And if you're holding on to dinar or have been watching the global currency shifts, you'll want to hear every word. On July 8th, 2025, that's the current date in the USA, the United States formally confirmed the updated exchange rate for the Iraqi dinar. After years of discussion and anticipation, it is now official. 1 Iraqi dinar equals $0.80 USD. Yes, this is not hearsay or rumor, it's reality. This moment marks a turning point for Iraq's economy and for those who've followed this journey closely. The revaluation of the dinar has long been speculated, often referred to in investor communities as the RV. But speculation has now given way to certainty. A value of $0.80 per dinar marks a monumental jump from the previous rate, which hovered between 1,300 to 1,500 dinars per dollar. In simpler terms, Iraq's currency just skyrocketed in value overnight. This shift isn't just numeric, it's symbolic. It represents growing confidence in Iraq's economy and signals a broader transformation underway. This development was not random. It followed months of economic adjustments, tighter monetary controls, and persistent efforts to reform Iraq's financial infrastructure. The Central Bank of Iraq has methodically enforced policies aimed at stabilizing the economy, enhancing foreign reserves, and eliminating illegal currency activities. These reforms laid the groundwork for what we're witnessing now. With the U.S. confirming the new rate, this isn't just an Iraqi decision, it's a strategic move backed by international consensus and real data. The result is a rate shift that isn't just a technical change, it's a global statement of economic trust. Let's look at this practically. If you're holding 1 million Iraqi dinar, the new valuation translates to a staggering $800,000, 0 cents US. That's right, $800,000. But while the numbers are exciting, it's important not to make hasty decisions. Large financial changes should always be handled with care. Many major banks are preparing specific policies for high-volume exchanges, and some may introduce bonuses or tiered rates based on volume and timing. That's why it's vital to understand the options available before initiating any transactions. Always consult with verified financial institutions and ensure that your information comes from reliable, official channels. Where there's opportunity, there can also be confusion, so clarity is key. But the significance of this move goes well beyond investors. For Iraq itself, this rate signals a leap toward financial independence. A stronger currency means lower costs for imported goods, reduced inflation pressure, and potentially improved living standards for the average Iraqi citizen. In turn, this encourages greater participation in formal banking, a trend that has already been gaining traction due to recent reform. The reduced reliance on black market trading is another positive outcome. When people have access to trustworthy and stable banking services, there's less need to rely on unregulated currency dealers. That makes the overall financial environment safer and more transparent. These gains all point to one key ingredient: trust. And trust is what gives a currency long-term strength. Encouraging economic growth. This could mean more offices, more jobs, and more growth, both domestically and internationally. This shift also reduces Iraq's dependency on the US dollar in foreign trade. The stronger and more stable the dinar becomes, the more Iraq can conduct international transactions using its own currency. That's not just symbolic. It's a practical advantage that allows the country to manage its economy with greater independence. Many viewers have been asking the same question: will the dinar rise beyond $0.80? Or is this the final stop? There's no universal agreement among experts. Some analysts believe this is just the beginning of a step-by-step process, potentially moving toward parity with the US dollar or even higher. Others argue that $0.80 is already a fair reflection of Iraq's economic fundamentals, considering current foreign reserves, inflation, and oil export. The truth is, the future value of the dinar will depend heavily on Iraq's ongoing reforms, fiscal discipline, and foreign investment climate. But one thing is clear: the revaluation is in motion and the door is open. Whether it climbs further or not, this is already a monumental achievement. Beyond numbers, we need to consider the emotional and psychological impact. For years, millions of people across the globe held on to dinar, waiting, hoping, and often doubted. Many were told the revaluation would never happen, that it was wishful thinking. Today, that belief has been validated. That emotional transformation is powerful. It shifts people's outlook from skepticism to hope, from uncertainty to preparation. When communities feel empowered, they become more active, spending, investing, and building, and that kind of grassroots momentum is what drives long-term economic expansion. For those asking how to exchange dinar now that the rate is official, here's what you should know. Many large banks, such as Wells Fargo, Chase, and Citibank, are expected to begin offering exchange services at their currency desks. However, not all locations may be ready on day one. You'll want to contact your bank directly, confirm any ID or documentation requirements, and understand potential limits or fees. There may also be tax consequences. In most jurisdictions, this exchange will likely be considered a capital gains event. That means it could be taxable. So before making large transactions, it's strongly advised to speak with a qualified financial advisor or tax expert to protect yourself legally and financially. Another major shift to watch is the collapse of black market currency trading. For years, many Iraqis and international investors were forced to use unofficial exchange methods, especially when the official rate was unstable or inaccessible. But now, with the Central Bank of Iraq in control and a U.S.-backed rate of $0.80, the need for backdoor currency deals disappears. That shift improves financial safety, reduces criminal exploitation, and brings everyday people closer to official financial systems. This is not just a technical upgrade, it's a social and economic breakthrough. Credit is due to Iraq's financial and political leadership. The central bank, economic reformers, and government officials all contributed to this moment. Reforms in digital banking, anti-corruption practices, foreign reserves growth, and streamlined payment systems didn't make headlines when they began, but they're why we're here today. This wasn't a spontaneous leap. It was years of effort, building silently in the background until the results became undeniable. The message is simple. Strategic planning, consistent reforms, and leadership can bring massive change. Domestically, Iraqi businesses are positioned to benefit immediately. Those reliant on imports, like technology firms, manufacturers, and agricultural companies, will find materials and tools more affordable. That savings can be reinvested into hiring, growth, and development. Exporters will also see greater returns, with stronger purchasing power when converting profits. Employment is expected to rise in key sectors like agriculture, energy, and tech, sectors that have long held potential but needed the right conditions to flourish. But real success depends on education and outreach. Many Iraqis, especially in rural or underserved areas, are unfamiliar with formal banking systems. For this revaluation to have deep impact, efforts must be made to teach people how to access financial services safely and confidently. That means mobile banking apps, educational workshops, community support, and infrastructure that includes everyone. This isn't just about boosting Iraq's economic numbers, it's about lifting people out of poverty and into a safer, more connected financial future. The ripple effect of this revaluation will likely extend beyond Iraq's borders. Iraq is surrounded by regional players like Turkey, Iran, Jordan, and Gulf states, all of which monitor one another's financial strategies closely. A stronger dinar could influence how these nations approach their own currency management and trade agreements. It also enhances Iraq's influence in regional alliances and opens the door for broader international cooperation. To all viewers of Iraqi Dinar News, here's the bottom line. Don't act on impulse. Stay informed. Learn the new rates, understand the tax rules, and avoid anything that seems too good to be true. If you're planning to exchange or invest, do so carefully through verified channels. The rate may shift again in the future, but this moment July 8, 2025, marks a major step forward. Whether you've held on to dinars for years or are just discovering this today, you are witnessing a financial turning point. This moment proves that strategic change is possible, even after years of skepticism. Thank you for watching Iraqi Dinar News. If this update helped you, make sure to subscribe, share, and comment with your thoughts. What will you do next now that the revaluation is official? Let us know. We want to hear from you. And remember, knowledge is power, and your financial future starts with staying informed. Until next time, take care and stay alert for the next chapter in this unfolding story.